This show is brought to you by Odlums.
Hi guys, and welcome to episode 24 of the Look and Taste Show. Now in this show we've got an absolutely cracking recipe for a little healthy salmon dish. We're also going to show you how to make the ultimate steak with pepper sauce, and Mike from Curious Wines is going to show us how to choose the perfect wine glass. Now, steak with pepper sauce, one of the all-time classics. We're going to show you now a little tip on how to make it very simply at home. The first thing that you want to do is use fresh peppercorns. We're just going to use a heavy sort of flat-based saucepan or whatever you have to hand to crush those peppercorns. Once you've done that, that's the first stage of preparation over. We're going to do it with a sirloin or strip loin steak today. You could do this with fillet or ribeye or whatever steak you have to hand. Add in your peppercorns. You really want to be generous with those to the steak. Season with a little bit of salt also, and now into an extremely hot smoking pan, we're just going to sear that steak off. So what we're trying to do here is really crisp it up and caramelize it on the outside, but keep it nice and pink down the center. So 2 minutes on each side, remove it from your frying pan, and straight in there as it's still smoking, we're going to go in with a little bit of brandy. Now what we're doing here is we're removing all those little sticky nice pieces of steak that are in there and that are going to help with our sauce. Once the alcohol has evaporated and started to burn off, we're going to add in our cream. We're going to bring that up to the boil, and then it's time to add the remaining peppercorns in there. Now the sauce will already be starting to taste fantastic. You can see it starting to come together to the right consistency. We're just going to add one other luxurious touch, which is a couple of little knobs of butter. This will help to flavor it up. It'll also give it a really nice sheen and texture to the sauce. We're going to pop our steak back in there just to warm it up for about 30 seconds. It's rested now, so it'll be nice and tender. We're gonna finish it off with a generous amount of chopped parsley. So just pop your steak straight onto the plate, serve it up, drizzled with your pepper sauce. It really is the ultimate way of eating steak.
Okay, so this is the pull tops corkscrew. A lot of fancy corkscrews in the market. I don't think you can beat this for simplicity and value. It's one of the cheapest corkscrews in the market. It's also one of the best. So this is how it works. It's basically a 3-piece corkscrew. It's a 2-maneuver pull. This is a Teflon coated worm. You can just draw it quickly up the foil and off. And then the 2-piece movement. This worm works much better because it's got a hollow center. You'll see some, particularly the winged corkscrews, where they've actually got a solid center and it can split cheap corks. So this will go in very, very easily because it's Teflon coated. And the 2-pull movement, that's position 1. Quick pull up to halfway. That'll give you the room to get the second standpoint on and pop. And that is you. Couldn't be simpler.
Going to show you how to make a really delicious little healthy salmon dish for today's recipe. Going to start off by peeling our carrots. Now just cut the carrots into even sized pieces. And pop them into your pot into cold water with a little bit of seasoning. Now cooking the fish, not a complicated process. We're not going to really add anything special to it, keeping it real simple. A little bit of salt and black pepper. Now just a little drizzle of olive oil. I'm going to show you the perfect way of cooking fish. Hot pan, really, really smoking hot, and we're just going to lay our fish in there into a dry pan. Now at this stage, all we're going to do is flip our salmon, looking for that lovely golden brown colour. Only going to take about another 2 minutes to cook on that side, and then we'll be able to put the whole dish together. Now carrots strained, going to make a lovely little puree, so just pop them into a blender. Little couple of knobs of butter. Season up with a little bit of fresh black pepper, a little bit of salt, magic little ingredient, a little bit of ginger. We're just going to roughly chop that in there, and that's just going to bring the carrots to life. Absolutely delicious. Pop the lid back on and whiz it up. Now the whole dish is so simple to assemble, really, really quick this one. Straight out of the blender, into the center of the plate. Really, really healthy, no carbs in this whatsoever. Colors are bright and beautiful. Same time, you can see our fish over here, pretty much cooked. One little last touch, a few little fresh spinach leaves in there, a little bit of watercress, one of these mixed bags. Now, simple as that. As that sweats down, the quickest sauce in the world. A little bit of lemon juice into our bowl. A few little fresh coriander leaves. We're just going to roughly chop those up. In those go. Now take that stock out and we're just going to add in a little bit of olive oil. Just whisk that together. More a little sort of light dressing than a sauce itself, but it's just really light and cuts through that fish perfectly. So finish it off with a little bit of black pepper. Now if I look back at the fish, one last little item to add in there. A little bit of the lemon juice. Give it a little toss. Took absolutely no time to cook whatsoever. We're just going to lift our fish and pop them up on top of that lovely puree. Nice little generous amount of our spinach and watercress, and to finish it, lovely little spoonful of that little fresh dressing. So colourful, really easy to prepare, absolutely no carbs in there, perfect little summer dish.
This show is brought to you by Odlums.